This video is about a good cigar and a good book. So I'm starting this series with this book here, with this cigar here. This cigar is the L'Atelier in Lancero. The L'Atelier, you're not familiar, it's a fantastic cigar from Pete Johnson. And you've seen this, you've not seen it at Lancero, but you've seen this in other videos. I'm not going to go too deep into the weeds about the cigar. Just know that this is one of the better cigars that you can find. Before I talk about the book, let's go ahead and talk about why you should go ahead and read a book while you're smoking a cigar. In this day and age, we have our brains are trained to have such short attention spans. We can't watch a video longer than 7 minutes. Movies aren't long, and now because of TikTok and Instagram, our attention spans are even shorter. And some people have tried to address that with cigar videos, and that's great. But sometimes you need to exercise your brain, and having a good book and smoking a good cigar at the same time will be fantastic. Now, this book is called The Devil's Diary. The Devil's Diary is about Alfred Rosenburg and his diary, and what was in his diary. If you're not familiar with Alfred Rosenburg, he was one of Hitler's inner circles. He was a big-time Nazi in Hitler's inner circle. So the things that went on inside, Rosenburg took part in for the most part, or at the very least he knew about, and he discusses that in his diary. The Germans kind of sealed their fate. They did a really good job of capturing all the things they did. They chronicalized and chronicled so much, even with them destroying a lot of the evidence, a lot of the things that they had done. But nope, because they were so efficient, they sealed their own fate. And that's what that's what Alfred Rosenburg pretty much did, because he was one of the individuals during the Nuremberg trials. And this book talks about his role and how he wasn't a military man, but he did quite a few atrocities himself, and it talked about those atrocities and the ones that he knew about, because he took part, well, he took down in his diary things that he knew. But this book is also about Robert Kempner. Robert Kempner was a German Jew that was able to escape Germany and eventually landed in the United States, and eventually he was one of the individuals prosecuting the Nuremberg trials. It was things that I wasn't familiar with, and that's another reason why you need to learn a little bit more, especially World War II. World War II had so many different aspects to it that up until then it didn't exist. Things like spycraft and technology and the spycraft on this level, race, socialism, communism, and all those things, and then the different roles other countries played that I either forgot about or didn't know. A lot of times in school they don't teach you everything. You got to learn it for yourself sometimes, which made this book a little bit more compelling. Robert Kempner, he was able to juggle having a wife and having a mistress. So he had a wife and a mistress that knew about each other. And it wasn't like, oh, well, you know, just don't let me know about it. They knew about each other pretty well. And I want you to read the book, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But it did cover that quite a bit, and it was surprising how he was able to do that, and how much they really they cared about him so much. And I also want to tell you about this book. It's well written, easy to understand. You can burn through it pretty quickly, and sitting down having a nice cigar with it, it's like salt and pepper. It goes together. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you look into the Devil's Diary and get a little bit smarter while you smoke a cigar. I'm Charles Walhingford, and the Devil's Diary and a Letelier is how I would spend my money.